mold and mildew resulting from our high humidity. You look for air in Florida and you find water.
In a previous chapter, a Healthy Homes evaluation team checked out an apartment building in the north. And the goal was to find what kinds of unhealthy conditions might exist in a space where residents share walls, hallways, stairwells, and even laundry facilities. Well, now we're going to do the same in the south. Just a quick review, healthy homes are dry, clean, ventilated, contaminant-free, pest-free, safe, and maintained. To northerners who deal with snow and sub-zero temperatures, the subtropical climate of the southeastern United States is paradise. Yet this climate takes a toll on its buildings. High humidity combined with the sun's radiation and heat are tough on building materials. We'll see how heat and humidity impacts the healthiness of a building, and also what kinds of conditions tend to prevail because of the climate. But first, a quick review on what's considered healthy in housing. Healthy means the living space is kept dry, clean, ventilated, contaminant-free, pest-free, safe, and maintained. For those trying to live by healthy principles, multifamily housing units pose challenges. That's because there are limitations to what you can really see and know about the buildings. You won't always get to look and see if each unit is perfectly clean and maintained. You may not get to look at the mechanical room to get clues about the cooling system and general maintenance. You won't get on the roof to see if there are leaks or water damage. It may not be readily apparent if there are problems with pests. A property that looks good might be harboring hidden problems. Plus, a building's maintenance may only be as good as the caretakers are willing to provide. If landlords or building managers are unresponsive to tenant needs, healthy living can be a challenge. If you're considering a move to multifamily housing, it's hard to know what you're getting into. So in this section, we'll show you how professional evaluators look at a property. The evaluation of a southern climate apartment building will happen here. Built during the 1960s, the cement block construction is typical southern affordable housing. The Healthy Home specialists include Jim Nolan, a home inspector, and Ed Green, the executive director of Rebuilding Together. They'll see how this 50-year-old complex rates for healthiness. They start in a space used by everyone in the complex, the laundry room.
Oh, wow. Oh, this place is nice and clean.
Smells
nice.
great. Smells great.
Got gas dryers here. And of course the gas vents outside up through the roof. Very, very nice.
Got a bit of dust up here by the vents, but it's not bad.
Need a taller maintenance person. That's all.
Sure looks like we had a leak over here. You can see the discoloration of the floor in by the outtake here.
See that little leak? Looks like it's been repaired. I don't think we have anything active.
Some work has been done.
These hoses are a little bit aged. You know, wash machine hoses, they don't cost a whole lot of money and can prevent a whole lot of damage. Overall, I'm very impressed.
Yeah, nice job. Nice job.
It's not a brand new place. It's very, very well maintained.
Inspecting the exterior involves things like checking for proper slope and grading. That safeguards against leaks into the foundation. Maintenance appears up to date. The entire complex recently got a fresh coat of paint. And safety is enhanced for residents when there's ample exterior lighting. Jim and Ed also check out the electric service to see if it's to code.
Yeah. Now this is where all the electricity enters each individual unit.
We've got 9 units.
9 units, exactly. And in here, this is the main service disconnect. We have circuit breakers in here. It's 100 amp service. And if we look inside, everything actually looks really good there. There's no double taps. That's one of the things I really look for. A lot of times you'll have things added on and people will just tap into the breaker. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it back. And then down here, this is the ground wire. And it's connected to a grounding rod that's buried totally all the way in the ground.
Okay.
So we have a good, safe electrical system here.
Next, a look at a vacant unit to see if the maintenance inside is as good as it is outside. From all outward appearances, it looks good. The block walls have been freshly painted white, which adds a sense of spaciousness. This is a 2-bedroom unit. Large windows provide plenty of natural light and, more important, can be opened for fresh air and ventilation. Ed checks out the kitchen area.
That's clean.
He inspects each cabinet and drawer to make sure they're clean. He's also looking for any signs of pest infestation.
We have a few surprises in here.
Roaches. Dead ones inside the cabinet, live ones scurried away. Closer examination reveals they're everywhere, on the countertops, in drawers. Cockroach frass or excrement is piled in a corner, and their domain isn't limited to the kitchen. They're on door frames, windowsills, and walls.
The overall presentation has been good. I like the fact that it's freshly painted, it's bright, the floors are clean, but you can't help but notice the presence of roaches. In just about every room we've gone, there's been roaches, and my goodness, look at this one. And you can see he's leaving behind excrement, which is clearly his waste is a common cause of respiratory problems, such as asthma.
The problem is significant. In the bathroom, Jim checks the vanity, knowing roaches like moist, dark spaces.
On the door right there.
With so many roaches out in broad daylight, the building has an obvious pest management problem. Strike one as far as healthy housing goes, but the evaluation isn't over.
All right, here we have some grout issues. It's about time to do some maintenance caulking here. We've got some breaks, especially here in the corners. And what can happen is, as you use in the shower, is it lets water in behind the tiles. Also, it's a good idea to make sure we have a good shower curtain in place. You can see over the years that some water spilled over the side and caused a little wood decay and a little drywall damage out there that's been repaired.
The water heater's located in the unit, so Jim makes sure it's operating safely. Ideally, a pan should be located under the appliance.
So in case the water heater should ever start to leak, what we like to see is a pan at the bottom to collect the water rather than have it just drip out onto the floor.
Right.
This property inspection only addressed areas that a tenant would typically access. Based on what they were able to see and observe, the team has some conclusions.
Well, you take a look at the grounds. They're clear. There's you don't see litter. They have a maintenance crew that's actively working to keep it clear. The grass is cut, the weeds are under control, and in Florida we all have weeds. It's just something you live with, but they're under control. So you can see that there's a maintenance effort that's very real.
On the exterior of the buildings, I found it's very, very well maintained. The place is nice and clean. In fact, we even saw someone coming around picking up trash during the middle of our inspections. I was very impressed with the property. The outside's very, very well maintained, and inside we had a lot of safety features here that would make it a comfortable place to live.
A roach infestation, for me, my quality of life has just taken a 0. Although you wouldn't see the roaches initially, they would come out and introduce themselves as the review continued. I would rate this a C. The infestation of pests was a little disturbing, and chances are it would have been a C+ or a B in my opinion had that been under control.
Earlier in this series, we evaluated an apartment building in a northern climate. Well, let's see how this complex in the south compares to its northern counterpart. Neither of the buildings had major water problems. Both appeared clean and well maintained. Large windows in the southern building gave it an edge with ventilation. Both buildings had problems with pests, namely cockroaches. When you're looking at an apartment building, you may not be able to go everywhere you'd like to get the full picture. But hopefully we've given you some insights on how to spot healthy and unhealthy conditions. And if you want to see more, just look at some other chapters.